I tend to listen to mostly small unsigned stuff these days, and I find that's much more interesting and exciting than a band that's 5 albums into their career and playing big shows. They tend to get a little bit tedious for me. So I go and watch music and listen to music in smaller venues mostly. Admittedly, I went to the Roundhouse recently for a much bigger show, but that was slightly different.
Traitor.
And yeah, we think we've got a good scene going on here. There's some great artists and great musicians in Swindon. There just isn't a huge audience for them. Outside of the local stuff, I've got a lot of time for the music of Bristol.
I think the way to look at it, rather than where's the best music, rather than look at it geographically like that, I would say look at it layered, and the best music is the underground, of everywhere, rather than, do you know what I mean? If you've got sort of unknown first album, big tours, arenas, rock gods, we like that little bit at the bottom that no one's really heard of, that we can manipulate and play around with and get
it tends to be more interesting, more exciting and more experimental, because people are quite prepared to take a risk. When there's a lot of money riding on it, it does get a little bit sterile, because you're playing to what the marketing people tell you. You're not writing from the heart or the head. You're doing what someone tells you to do.
The Furnace was the home to alternative rock in Swindon before it closed down due to financial problems. It's now at level 3 and holds live music as well as local bands, and is an alternative music nightclub.
It's serious money to be able to get our album on the back of Q magazine, and and to pay radio pluggers $5,000 to get a guaranteed play on BBC One and all that stuff. There's a lot of naughty dealings that go on in the background that involve serious money when you're signed to a major. So independence, you kind of have to try and go down the blog route and review route, and you're BBC introducing, hopefully, into BBC Six. They're your kind of ways in that don't cost you any money. So yeah, there are issues with it.
The Victoria holds live music every week, ranging from alternative rock and a large amount of cover bands.
That's a tough question. I know it's been a pub for well over 100 years. It's always been a drinks establishment, but as a venue, I think we're probably looking at about 20 odd years now. Yeah. There is a good local music scene, original music scene. Yeah. I mean, this is a well-known place, and I mean, there's been a lot of big bands over the years that have played here, or bands that used to be big. So it's certainly on the circuit. It's on the map. It's a few venues left in Swindon these days, isn't it?
Do you have like a set genre you usually put on?
No. I think diversity is the key. For instance, like a Secret Chord records. I mean, they're really, really shouting out loud about it and looking to advertise nationally about these bands and looking to get them elsewhere.
The Oasis is Swindon's largest music venue, with a capacity of over 3,000. It's held big bands such as Kasabian, Biffy Clyro and McFly, and it's the only place in Swindon you can see big name bands without going somewhere like Bristol or London.